Hello, welcome to part 2 of this painting, where we're going to finish the foreground and complete the painting. I'm working with a small round brush over here, and I'm going to list the colors that we're going to use for this painting. To the left for you, same colors, same idea: raw umber, red, orange, cat yellow, cat orange, stuff like that. We have a few boulders or rocks in the foreground, few waterfalls. I'm gonna do the main one and maybe this one and a couple of these big rocks with you. The rest is just redundancy, same idea, repetitive work. So I'm gonna do that off camera. I'm gonna start with these rocks, probably with these two, and then do the waterfall. For the underpainting, I'm going to use raw umber and probably some red added to it. And for the highlights, I'm going to bring in more red, orangey color. And I'm using a round brush because this gives me more control for detail work. The light is coming this way, so I'm going to make this side a bit lighter. Now it doesn't matter if you start with lighter value, darker value, it's as long as you get the texture of the rock and you'll be able to carve out some details, is fine. So I'm gonna have another waterfall over here. I'm gonna just go ahead and apply some dark here. And some red. When you're painting rocks, I'm not an expert in painting rocks myself, but think of the shape, think of the dark value that's going to be on this side, for example. Think of your lighter values, the highlights and stuff like that, and that's how you can carve out basically the rocks and paint impression of the rock. And I'm gonna apply some dark over here to this side, and at the same time I'm gonna bring in my red, which is the highlight color for my rocks. And as I said, just think about the shape. Not that difficult, but it's not totally random. But once you paint one or two of these things, you develop your style and you can work with that style. Maybe some highlight over here. Now this is not the final highlight. It doesn't have to be, and we can go back and work on it, just carving out the shape of these rocks. Even some orange can work over here. Just like that. We see what works, what doesn't. We can always go back and try a different idea. And I'm gonna go ahead Apply my dark, which is basically some red, some black, some raw umber. Over here, we're gonna have another waterfall there, but we gotta do the underpainting for it. So this rock is maybe shaped differently. So we bring the highlights over here, and this side is gonna be the dark side. Just like that. And maybe for this side as well, drop some highlights and blend it with some raw umber and black. Again, you just have to experiment, see what works and what doesn't, and you could go ahead and change it. And by bringing highlights, you can really create a layer, like paint another rock right in front of it, just like that. And with the same brush and some orange, we're gonna go ahead and just apply a bit more highlights on top of these rocks where they catch some light. And it is with the highlights that you can really carve out some details and indicate the rock shape. A bit more dark here. And we're going to apply same idea in here. Now the light is coming this way, so the top of these rocks and the left side gonna get highlighted. So I'm gonna go ahead, apply some raw umber and black for this side, and with my red and orange I'm gonna come here, start some highlight, and that's my waterfall. So I'm gonna continue that reddish brownish thing for here as an underpainting for the waterfall. Lighter value, we're going to come over here and start our highlights and forming the rock. Same idea as the other side. The waterfall is going to come over it, so this side is going to be all waterfall. That's going to be our red rock. Maybe another one right in front of it. Again, some red, some orange. Soften some of those hard edges. Coming in with some raw umber and black, and a bit highlight for the top of this rock. Now that umber that I applied is still wet, so this orange is gonna mix in. So blending is easy, but it's not gonna dry as bright as you see, so maybe we have to go back and reapply some highlights and some details for this rock, just like that. Getting some highlights over here. Softening some of those hard edges, apply some dark, and let's see if we need to reshape this rock over here. Some red. And maybe some raw umber added to it, and we can carve out some of the shadow areas. I'm not going to kill all that dark. And easily create some impression of rocks. Believable but very impressionistic. Maybe some highlights here. Not this paint is dry. And I can go ahead and get some more highlights over here and work on those rocks a bit more. But you get the idea, same process. So there's the rest of the rocks going to be follow same process. I'm going to go ahead and complete a few more, and then I'll bring you guys back to do the waterfall, because it's just more of the same. We're not gonna have anything different presented here. As you see, the same idea. That's our waterfall that is dropping over here. So maybe we have a rock right in between over here. Alright, so I went ahead and completed the rocks in the foreground. Same idea as you witnessed with those two. I'm bringing some of my raw sienna and some of my pink and making a highlight color and just some finishing touches for some areas, maybe some final highlights. Of course, when we say final highlights with acrylic, is really a loose term because you can always go over it. The medium doesn't work like oil, so often it dries a bit darker and you have to reapply some of these highlights, but just to show you the idea. Changing the color a bit. You could really work on these rocks forever. And the more you work on them, the more realistic hopefully they're gonna look. Alright, time for the waterfall. The main waterfall is here. We have two small ones. And this stage is good to just make sure they're all at the same level. And yes, they are a bit this way. Yeah. It doesn't have to be perfect, it's not science. We're not building a structure, but just to make sure, you know, it's level. I have a round brush over here. So we're gonna go ahead, reflect the sky in here, and then, which is not much, and then create a waterfall. The waterfall is going to be, I believe, pinkish color works with the whole foreground. I'm gonna bring some orange for back there, maybe even some yellow added. And we're gonna come over here and just apply our dark. And this will be the edge of the waterfall. So we're gonna have one drop over here. And then we're going to have another drop here. I'm going to bring some umber with that red. And this will be just the background for the fall. And of course this color is going to be reflected into the water as well, so I'm going to bring it over here too, because that rock really meets the water and the reflection is in the water over here. And a dark red. For the waterfall. So basically the way I do it, I'm not sure if this is how you do it. I drop in the underpainting, the dark underpainting, and then I'm gonna go ahead with whatever color that I choose to do the waterfall. In this case it's gonna be pinkish waterfall. I mean, the scene is surreal anyway, but if you do blue and white, then you know, you bring in your color, maybe green and you know, even turquoise. It's up to you. So we're going to drop in some of that color over here as well. Now with the same brush and some pink, I'm going to go ahead and drop the impression of the water here, and I'm going to do the same thing for the other falls. Whatever I do here, same idea. So I'm hold the brush just like that, and I'm gonna paint the impression of water dropping Now this is against the tooth of the canvas, the paint is going to break. That's what we want. You could use a fan brush for this step if you're more comfortable using a fan brush. And I'm going to come here and drop the indication of the second fall or second drop. Just like that. Like I said, some people are more comfortable with the fan brush, so you could definitely do that. And this is just a closer view of what I'm doing. Now I'm gonna apply some of this color over here, and with a soft blender brush I'm just gonna go ahead, create some mist, pull some of that paint down just like that, and create some misty look at the bottom of this fall. You may have to repeat this process a few times. Just apply some paint just like that, and just soften it, pull down. You could go over your rocks, it doesn't matter, just make sure the rocks are dry. Make sure that paint is dry when you do that. Just pull down like that, create a misty look, and bring it right into the rocks. Now we're going to bring in some white and mix that with our pink. So we're going to make a very lighter value of that color, but it's not a straight white. So I'm going to come over here right to the edge and pick a few spots. We don't want to do this all over the waterfall, just some highlights for this moving water, as the top of the water is getting the light. And a few of them, going to join with the bottom fall. Let the paint break, just like that. And with your mop brush, just go over it, just pull down, just soften it a bit. let me know in the comment section, if you will, if you like this technique or you like to use your fan brush for painting your waterfall. Let me know what you think. So I'm just going back and forth, softening, applying paint. As I said, there is a process. If you use this technique, you gotta trust the process and just build up. Alright, so that's how far I took the waterfall for now. I mean, it is what it is. Is it perfect? No. But this is as much as I can push it for now. I'm gonna keep it like this, maybe a bit more highlights here and there. I definitely don't want to overdo this, especially, you know, running a demo, and I don't want this to get too long. But that's the idea. A few more misty effect over here with this blender brush. And maybe some mist up here as well, why not? Alright, so that's the extent that I'm gonna go with this waterfall. I'm gonna create two more, carbon copy, exact same thing, and I'm gonna bring you back for the final unveiling of the painting, and that would be all for today. Alright, so I went ahead and finished the two other waterfalls, same technique, and same brush, with the smaller brush that I had. I was working with nothing fancy, and with the same technique I went ahead and created some mist at the bottom. So now we're going to go ahead, finish the foreground, basically reflecting the sky in there, some of that yellow, and we're going to transition that to the color that we used for the waterfall. We don't want unnatural look, so, and for the corners we're going to use darker, because we're going to have and the dark is going to be a mixture of raw umber and red, because we're going to have reflection of those boulders and rocks as well into the water. And I don't want to go very bright around the corners of the painting. And then with the blender brush, just go ahead and just tap, and basically you're going to create a very soft transition, and sometimes in a circular fashion, just like that, bring it up, create mist, just like so, and just go over it, tap. Don't go over the board with this process, because you're going to lift up the paint. Okay, do a few times, and if you don't have the desired effect, let it dry and go over it again. I'm going to do it for this part as well, this fall. with the blender brush, just go ahead and tap. Some mist. And soften that. Here we go. I believe we can call this painting done. Again, there's how much you want to push it, how far you want to take it is up to you, but I'm gonna stop right here. And I hope you like this idea. I hope you try it at home, and I hope you come back for more videos. Paint your dream world. Signing off over here, and I'll catch you guys with another painting. I'm out.